Learn how to start seeds indoors with this simple tutorial for kids. They'll love planting these seeds in recycled toilet paper tubes and watching them grow, then planting them in the ground when the time is right. The supply list will be at the end of the post. Don't you love reusing things like toilet paper rolls? We're going to plant our seeds inside of here. You can use full rolls as tall as this, or you can cut them in half if you would like and just use a smaller amount of soil. I'm going to cut mine in half. Now of course the dirt's going to fall out since it's a tube, so we can close the end of the tube in several different ways. You can just push these in like that, but I don't find that they sit very flat and they don't always hold the soil as well. But that is one way that you can do it. A second way that you can prepare your toilet paper roll is to put some butcher paper over it, bring the paper up around the sides, and then either tie with a string or put a rubber band around it. I think that one looks cute, especially with a string tied around it. But the third way that we'll be doing this is by folding in the end of the tube. And we're going to be doing this by making flaps on the bottom, cutting in about 3/4 of an inch, cutting 4 flaps and making them an equal distance around the tube. Then we're going to fold these in like we fold a box. So I have a box here that has 4 flaps. When I fold these up, I fold the flaps by putting one in, the next one over it, the next one over it, and then I'm going to tuck this end of the flap under this beginning first flap. We're going to do that same thing on our toilet paper tube. So now, having learned that about the 4 flaps, we're going to do the same thing with these 4 flaps on our tube. So I'm going to fold one flap in, fold the next flap over it, next flap over that, and then lastly I'm going to fold this 4th flap and tuck this edge underneath this one. And there I come up with this nice little folded bottom that sits much more flat and will work really well for a little toilet paper tube container to plant our seeds in. Isn't that nice? So let's make several of those. So I'm going to make enough to fill this little container. There we go, my container's full. That's how many I'm going to make, and we're going to fill them with the dirt next. So let's fill our little containers with our soil. I find a spoon works really well for this. I fill these pretty close to the top because I think they will settle as they get moist. So let's get these little daisy seeds out of our package. I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of made sure to shake them down so they're in the bottom of the package. I'm going to pour them out in my hand, and seeds are quite small for flowers. There's not that many in here. This is what the painted daisy flower seed looks like. Very small. So we're going to look at the package. After danger of frost, sow them or plant them outdoors. Cover with 1/4 inch of soil. Transplant to garden after the frost. Okay, so we're going to plant these 1/4 inch underneath the top of the soil. We don't have a lot of seeds, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of these little containers. I'm going to plant 2 or 3 seeds in the container. You can't even see them, I'm sure. And then I'm going to cover them with the 1/4 inch of soil, scooping that off. I tell you what, I'm going to just take a little bit off the top and put it back on is what I'm going to do. I should have made them just a little lower. Okay, 3 or 4 seeds in each one. And I'm going to put the 1/4 inch of soil back over the top. So it might have been good if I had made these a 1/4 inch lower than the top. Do that next time. Ooh, that's got a big rock. I'm going to take that rock out. You may be planting several kinds of seeds, And if so, you can use a Sharpie marker to mark the side of the containers with the type of seed that you have in them. So these are all the daisy seeds, so I don't need to put a marker on any of these. I probably will keep this with my seeds, and I'm going to go ahead and water them. And because they're such small seeds and we don't want to disturb the soil too much, a squirt bottle set to a fine mist works really well. Now that water will soak down into the soil and give those seeds an opportunity to be moist. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of plastic over the top and kind of seal this like a little mini greenhouse and keep them in here for 3 or 4 days. That will keep the moisture inside really well, and I will take the plastic up and moisten them again with the squirt bottle if I need to. Now those are ready to sit for a few days, and I'm going to put these in a window where they can get a little sunlight. But I will wait for those little seeds to poke their heads through the soil. So it took at least 3 weeks for these seeds to sprout, so it's warm enough outdoors and I'm going to go ahead and plant them. I dug a hole that is several inches deep and then gently placed the entire toilet paper tube and the seedling into the ground and pressed the soil up around it firmly and watered it with the spray bottle again. I wanted you to see what the flowers look like if they're full grown. These daisies grow in my friend's flower garden. For more great nature activities and crafts, come on over to welcometonanas.com and join the fun. We're going to be planting our seeds in toilet paper tubes. You'll need several of them, depending on how many seeds you want to plant. We'll need some soil. This is potting soil that I bought in a bag. I purchased some daisy seeds. I tell you, gone are the times of 25-cent a packet seeds that I remember when I was a kid. We'll want to water it with something. I think that a little spray bottle works very well. Scissors, and if you want to mark what seeds you have, you'll be using a Sharpie pen on your toilet paper tube. And I think that's everything.